I want to see Robbie Roberts on a plane doing shit like that. They pull that shit down so fucking fast.
Just sitting between a midget and a tranny.
Watch him Hulk out through the fucking wall of the plane. Nope.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, ready?
Talking with words.
1, 2, 3. Welcome back to Talking with Words. You're with Rob.
James.
And Ryan.
I'm trying to look and see which way I need to look at your tiles on my computer. Tonight we watched Screamboat. Holy shit. If you're
Yeah.
unfamiliar with this, the Steamboat Willy IP became what do we call it?
Public domain.
Public domain. A lot like when we did Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Blood and Honey.
There's a Popeye
Popeye the Slayer
the
Man.
Slayer Man out now. There is a Peter Pan coming out. We took a chance.
You don't always win.
Again,
It's not a loss, though.
there's some stuff to find. There's always something to find. And I'm going to say that I've said it 100 times. We don't shit on everything in this. That's like the main thing that I set out to. And we're going to stick to that as hard as we can on this because there's some good stuff in here, but holy shit. If you haven't heard about this movie, it's described as on the last ferry of the night in New York, passengers and crew are haunted by a merciless rat, and what should have been a peaceful crossing turns into a bloody massacre. It's exactly what you think it is.
Yeah.
The only person of note really in this film that I saw, did you look at the cast?
Ooh, Tyler Posey.
Well, Tyler Posey is the other actor. David Howard Thornton is the reason we're watching this. Terrifier, Art the Clown. The fact that he's in it, we're like, yeah, we'll watch it.
Yeah.
And he's good.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you'd expect from a David Howard Thornton playing a rat. Jesus Christ. We got a parent's guide on this one?
Kinda.
Ish.
I don't think this one was rated.
It's not rated, I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to make this real easy. Sex and nudity, moderate. Violence and gore, profanity, alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Frightening and intense scenes, all severe.
There you go.
Which it wasn't. Some of the scenes weren't quite as graphic as I'd expect. But then again, that
Prosthetic blowjob.
that was slightly more
That was
graphic.
a real blowjob.
Yeah.
I don't know what movie you were watching.
Yeah. That actor did not make it. No, but like in comparison to some of the other stuff we watch, I feel like that's
Yeah.
like skewed the bar.
Well, this was definitely a low. What was the budget on this? Do we know?
I'm sure we can figure it out real quick.
So, and to follow up on that, you know what the story we just told. It's people on a ferry. They somehow let loose Willie, who goes on to murder as many people as possible.
2 million.
2 million. That was more than I thought.
Yeah. And oddly enough, it allegedly grossed 82 million worldwide.
That doesn't really surprise me.
I think everyone was wondering what would happen. And that's probably the motivation for making the movie. Race to the box office with a public domain version.
It's like Sharknado. It's like, oh shit, what's this diarrhea fire going to look like? Let's watch it.
Yeah.
All 6 of them.
Yeah. But there's going to be more of these. I have no doubt.
I can't wait.
And again, I think I've talked to you about this before. I want to take these licenses that are now open and do let's do a Popeye Lord of the Rings. Let's do a Popeye Harry Potter. Let's do some weird shit that no one else is thinking about. They don't all have to be horror.
Yeah.
I'm for it. I'm going to watch it. Clearly, we just wasted an hour and a half of our lives watching this.
Did we waste it though?
the back half had some treats in it,
Yeah.
as grimy as they were.
They managed to quote every Disney movie ever created.
Holy shit! I don't know how they didn't get sued just for that alone.
I'm a little impressed.
Well,
It's like when
just,
Baxter ate a wheel of cheese.
I mean, they used objects and they used phrases, but they didn't like directly steal from anything. I mean, it was left up to us to be informed about. Yeah, that was that movie. I mean, just saying "Let It Go." I mean,
Yeah. And let's run through that real quick. Were you guys paying attention to all of those? Because
I'm sure I missed.
I
a
lost
bunch
track.
I noticed it pretty. I've got kids. I noticed it pretty early on. The list that I wrote down started with, "It's a small world after all."
Yeah, I
Mhm.
heard
These
that.
these are some of the lines. Can you feel the love tonight? Let it go. It's the happiest place on earth. Um, we're all a little mad down here. Uh, Jesus.
The Lost Slipper.
They had the slipper. You had the
Let's
lamp, the umbrella, the teapot, and the candelabra, and the umbrella in the
and
The
one of the
umbrella.
closing scenes
when
there.
the kid fell in the water.
Yeah. Let's not forget that the birthday girls were all dressed as Disney
As
princesses.
Disney princesses. Yeah.
I didn't even pick up on that.
Cinderella, Belle, Jasmine. One of them might have been.
I'm impressed by your knowledge of Disney princesses.
I was so annoyed by their influencer personas that I didn't even pick up on that.
And
I wanted them to be murdered.
One of them was Alice, and I can't remember what the last one was. There's 5 of them.
I really hope that some of the acne was over the top, like the Disney Channel, because when you watch a Disney production on TV, you shouldn't. If my kids are watching it and I walk in the room and you watch them act, you're like, oh, that's overacting to a T. So I would love to say that everyone in this was doing a Disney performance
They hammed it up.
because it was hammy,
Yeah.
but probably not.
Yeah.
They just got what they needed. There was a lot. It felt like a lot of money was spent on Willie and making the fact that they made him. What was he, like, 1.5 feet tall?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
something
like
like
wasn't like every scene of him was pretty much green screen
Yeah,
onto something
every single
else.
one.
Yeah.
Or it was just him by himself in a different with like a huge cardboard
A lot of
steering wheel,
a lot of shots from a distance.
a lot of distance, or a puppet, just the puppet, and like
Yeah.
the feet, the little,
Yeah.
or the back of the head. Shared a lot with porn, a lot of feet in the back of the head. But yeah, everything else was just a close up of his face, and they really they probably only had him for like a week.
They just had him do emotions.
Yeah, just now you're angry.
Well, I wouldn't want to be on that set for more than a week having to get into that makeup
No
and
shit.
prosthetics.
That was a full body.
Yeah, I mean that's a Jim Carrey Grinch move right there.
Yeah, that looked like a lot more than art.
I bet
Oh,
all the shots, all the close up shots were probably done within 2 weeks,
If not less.
if not
Yeah.
less. I was being
Get me
generous.
out of this fucking thing.
Yeah, that makeup job had to be intensive for everybody putting it on, taking it off, wearing it.
Takes just as long to get in a costume as he spent shooting for the day.
Is learning his dialogue.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait.
David Howard Thornton doesn't learn dialogue.
Just like the young child in this, almost no lines. I did like.
Conspicuously silent child in a
So-
very scary situation.
They don't want to pay him.
Yeah, that was obvious.
That's a featured extra.
So the dad at the end, when he's like, "Thank you for saving my son," who's in like a full butler's getup
Yeah.
and appears to be well-to-do
And like rode in on
on a tugboat.
A tugboat.
Yeah, why is he sending his baby mama and child on the ferry? Like, take your private helicopter, Scrooge McDuck.
And I'm gonna say the same thing I said to Cameron when he walked in and went, "What the fuck?" Don't worry about any of that.
No reason.
You didn't need a backstory.
No reason. Same reason that when he walked on there was like, "Thanks for keeping my son safe." His wife is dead on that ship. Yeah,
Well, it made me wonder if she was maybe the nanny, or
I was
did
wondering
they
about that
ever?
as
Did they?
well.
I mean, he didn't talk, so he never called her mom.
He was.
I mean, she had him like with her when they
She
thought the guy across from him was bad news, and they moved.
she acted like they were mother and son.
Yeah,
She did. That was
It's,
seemed to be implied.
he's not worried about baby mama because he just saved himself a ton on alimony and child support.
So was it maybe just bad writing or convenient writing, depending on how you look at
he
it,
wasn't coming in on a tugboat; it was an ice boat.
to get the kid off the set? They here somebody's picking him up. That story thread's ended.
All right, go on, get.
Neatly tied up. He's gone.
There were no storylines in this neatly tied up. There were no storylines in this
There was a
that
love
were
story
lined.
there.
Only one that was lined was at the end. We found whatever Minnie is to Willie,
Yeah.
because I mean that was Mickey Mouse across the board.
Oh yeah,
They even had the Mickey Mouse Club. I don't remember
logo
what
on the jacket. Or
yeah, what
whatever.
her name was, the one that converted. Uh,
Becky.
she turned
Paula.
around, like she was walking backwards, which I thought was kind of weird. Then she turned around, and you saw the Mickey Mouse
Yeah.
head painted, spray painted. Like, okay, that makes more sense. And then she put on the ears helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, where'd that come from?
Which-
she fashioned it.
She had time to make one.
She's been there for a minute.
Yeah.
We don't know how long.
She had time to learn the mouse's ways and interpret his speech.
It was either one night or 100 years. We don't know how much time has passed in any of this.
Let's say it's literally all night because they were supposed to shut the ferry down at like 8 or 9, and it was dawn when the tugboat picked them up.
And did
or the ice
anybody
boat or whatever.
else see this alleged fog? Because like every time they went outside, they were looking at the skyline.
Yeah. Look
Weather controls were not in the budget, James. Yeah, there was some, like when you see their point of view, it's all like crystal clear New York skyline. But when they did what I'm going to assume were AI shots from above of just like the boat in the water,
Yeah.
it's the only time you saw fog.
That's Photoshop at its best right there.
Yeah.
Just Adobe processing. Hot power.
I feel like all the fight scenes with Willie were Chucky inspired,
Well, when you got that puppet,
and you had
Or
another one.
Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, you Slaughterhouse. That was a good
Yeah.
one.
yeah, the everything, and they did. I want to note this before we get into the deaths. They did take a minute for the old drunk guy that the EMT said, "Here, I'll fix you up," and she gave him a Gatorade. Came out at the end to tell the story of how Willie became Willie.
He was a deckhand in the 1950s.
He said 60s,
60s,
which
sorry.
was depressing to me because, like, oh, that was a long time ago. You know,
Oh, way back then, huh?
Steamboat Willie was like, what? When did that come out?
Well, when you're a homeless diabetic drunk, you look way worse than
Walt?
yeah.
But they're like, he's a science experiment gone wrong. It's like, okay, so now we can explain how strong he is and fast, and okay, we don't have to worry about any of that shit now. We'll just we weren't worrying about it anyway, but now we really don't have to worry about it.
Next member of Guardian of the Galaxy.
It all makes sense.
What is he, a trash weasel, or
Yes.
is that what they called him?
Yeah.
But he killed people in a lot of different ways. And I think one of my favorites was the two influencer chicks that were doing the tongue out. It
Yeah.
reminded me of
Oh,
Miley Cyrus, like the face.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, and it happened really fast. Did you get your eye pop?
No.
I could have
Not
swore
on
there
this
might have been an eye pop in there. Maybe it's just their faces.
That was just their facial expression.
Yeah. No, I pop. But he did take two of them out with the forklift at the same time, which I appreciated, through the
Yeah.
mouth, because they were doing the tongue
Yeah,
out.
stupid face.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that was like, to me, one of the most successfully entertaining parts was like killing off those girls because everyone hates the
You did
Instagram
want them to
set.
die.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did from the minute they walked on, and the Selena, she's like trying to get away from them from the before they even introduced the characters.
Yeah.
So we had that going on, but they're so focused on getting their Instagrams and their selfies, and they're looking for good lighting. So when Willie finally
Turns on the
tries to
light.
turn on the forklift, finally figures out the forklift's not going because he didn't turn it on. As soon as he turns it on, the lights on the forklift start, and their only reaction is, "Oh, there's the lighting we needed," and they start doing their stuff. And then he just rams right into them with the forklift.
I didn't realize a forklift was standard equipment on a passenger ferry.
It's a big ferry.
I guess.
Don't worry about it. No reason.
And were they on a loading dock of any sort?
Okay, before I get into the just the insanity of the back half of this movie, because the front half doesn't matter. What was your favorite part of this, James?
Favorite part. It would have to be those two getting killed in the forklift.
The forklift
if
part?
if not the birthday girl herself with the spear.
Oh yes, Ryan.
When he executes the original Captain KGB style with the wire as he whistles, pop goes the weasel as he like takes the guy's head off.
Not just pop goes the weasel,
That'll-
pop, 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 pop goes the weasel
Yeah.
because it took too many tries to get it off. Mine wasn't a kill in this one. My favorite part of this movie was when he's walking across the concession stand and he sees that it's $6.99 for a corn dog, and he turns around and he goes, "No." And he turns this. He's like, "Now it's $9.99." Like, yeah,
Chaos.
Mickey Mouse likes to price gouge motherfuckers. I get that joke, and it's amazing. I don't know why that one stood out to me for so well. Probably because I just got back from Disneyland or Disney World.
Because you
But-
cried when you saw
It
your credit
resonates.
card bill
Yeah, I
after that.
did. I still am.
I get it.
I'm like a ninja. I cry on the inside. We had the propeller, the cop. We had the broom cop. We had the dick cop,
Yeah.
which, goddamn, Cameron walked in, ruined
Right.
the whole movie.
Right before that scene.
Hey, the dick get cut off yet? What the fuck, man?
Later, let's watch the dick get cut off. Hey,
30 seconds
didn't know
later.
that was going to happen.
I would have enjoyed that so
Oh.
much more if it wasn't ruined.
The first guy, Mr. Cocaine Statue of Liberty,
Speaking of cocaine Statue of Liberty,
he got his Achilles cut just like Pet Cemetery.
yeah. Also, oh, is that heroin? Sally, do you know what cocaine is or heroin is?
They're the same thing, right?
No.
She doesn't teach dare at her school, does she?
You know, God bless her for not knowing her drugs.
That's not a handicap.
Cocaine and heroin the same, right? Go watch Pulp Fiction. You
Little
need some learning.
Jeez.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about that. He's he's snorting coke on the
Doing little key bumps, and
uh,
she's like, "Is he doing heroin?"
Was he in the theater group or just wearing that Statue of Liberty costume for no
I
damn
think
reason?
he was a street performer.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, kind of like Whitey Tighty Cowboy for you, James.
Yeah.
Yeah, iconic New York figure. I
That's
don't
what
think it was
those-
the original dude, though.
Yeah, no, those guys were just supposed to be, except Statue of Liberty gave a little more head. That's the only difference.
Mm. Yeah. I would say the Dick Cop gave more, but
Well, fair enough. His played out a second turn, which was the only one that got to really play out a second turn. And again, fucking Cameron.
Yeah,
We're right at the part where they're going into the locker room and she starts blowing him. Cut the dick off yet? Cameron, dude.
I can't say that he ruined the scene, even if it was a spoiler.
I'm gonna give him shit since he left.
yeah.
But that one, and that was one of those where the green screen paid off really well because Willie jumps out and he just does like a ninja slash, and the chick gets sprayed because they want to have blood on the tits and all that, and the cop falls back, shooting blood like a Tarantino film.
Instantly dies.
But it cuts to little Willie, And then the other Willy falls right next to him and he goes, ah, and kicks it. And it rolls.
Well,
And then
and then
he's fucking with the now captain,
second captain.
the captain part two.
Yeah.
And the captain comes out. He's, underneath the,
He's trying to fix something in one of the machine rooms or whatever.
he's on his back fixing with the equipment, and he kind of comes out because he hears something, and something just falls on his face, and it's the dick, like right on his lip.
No, he keeps asking for tools. He's like, I need a
That's-
Phillips head
that's what it
screwdriver,
is.
Well,
He
he
hands
did get
him
a
a
tool
flathead.
handed to him.
then a wrench, and then the last thing he gets
Hand me
is,
the hammer.
yeah, like
There was the hammer.
And it was the
just give me
hammer.
the hammer. And there's a severed penis.
Dick lip.
in the right to the face.
And then he got a TV, which was a Chucky move, I believe. If not one of the most famous Freddy moves. Welcome to primetime, bitch.
Didn't we see that didn't we see that in another one the other day? Hell of a Summer, maybe?
Oh, probably. I always think of Gross Point Blank as well, because that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was shot really, really well. It looked good. Have you seen that movie, James?
Wait, which one?
Gross Point Blank.
I don't remember.
It is.
I've heard of it for sure. Don't remember the plot.
We'll watch it. I'm not even gonna say anything else.
I,
It's worth a
that
pod.
one's been around so long. Probably watched it, but I just don't remember.
Yeah, it's the Cusacks and Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
If not the whole thing, I'm sure I've seen parts.
And Minnie Driver. You've seen it. I'm gonna tailor you right. You've seen it. You've seen it. Yeah, you know what it is. You've seen as a woman.
Oh, Taylor.
Also, all of these New York accents sounded like a mix between Long Island and Boston.
Yeah.
They're across the board. So I do want to know where this was shot, which was probably L.A.
Canada.
or Canada. L.A. The nail in the foot. The one
Oh, that guy.
the
I didn't
EMT.
like that.
the one moment where James screamed before the person on camera screamed.
I saw the nail and I knew what was coming next. I mean, there was no doubt about what was about to happen because they were messing with everybody in every scene. You couldn't just get away. Something would stop you from getting away.
Thanks, Pizza Rat.
Yeah.
And then she pulled it out with all the blood gushing out of her foot.
Which would not happen in a
Your foot doesn't
wound.
bleed that much unless you sever a toe.
No reason.
Although the first cop he killed, which was right before he popped the captain's head off,
Yeah.
he smashed his hand, then drug him to the end of the boat,
Oh, yeah.
was drowned, like dangling him in the water. You assume he's just going to drown him, and then he starts bouncing his face off the propeller.
Yeah.
But the whole time he's whistling "Row, row, row your boat,"
Yeah.
which was pretty great. I think he whistled a different song every time he killed somebody.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
And I lost track of all the songs. The Birthday Girl, he did the
Happy
birthday song.
Pop Goes the Weasel.
Pop Goes the Weasel, row, row, row your boat.
I wrote some of them down, but I can't read what I wrote. Too
Because you write in
polite.
the dark.
Well, yeah, it's dark in here. Oh, Too Polite, which I wrote that what was the chick that survived?
Selena?
Selena.
Selena.
I wrote that she was too polite to be a New Yorker, which then they made a huge deal of her being from
Minnesota.
Minnesota. So it made more sense that she was polite. I was like, God damn it. Well, you just run one of those loopholes, plot pieces of shit.
Well, they made her an honorary New Yorker, so
Yeah.
it was okay in the end.
Never mind the rest of the plot.
Just like the EMT. Yeah. No reason.
Which
She's like, oh, well, I'm not actually from New York. I'm from Seattle.
I couldn't tell if the EMT was great or if she sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She definitely moved the story forward in different ways.
She was really there just be like, hey guys, let's get to the next page on this script.
Yeah, she kept things moving. Hey, I'm gonna get you something.
Hey, I got stabbed with that knife. Thank God I'm an EMT and I didn't close it. I'm just holding it shut with my hand like anyone could do. There's a lot of that.
She keeps super glue in her pocket. It's fine.
Probably
For-
did.
It's lube.
Well, sometimes you need one, sometimes you need the other.
Again, this is a movie I don't give a shit about plot.
Just
holes at
don't
all.
mix them up.
Yeah, it can get dangerous. Haven't peed for 6 weeks. Uh, yeah. Trailers for Cam. Trailers for Cam. Trailers for Cam. Uh,
It was fun. He did electrocute a whole bunch of other people.
yeah, I'm trying to remember what other little thing. Oh, he gave her the boots.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, Pete, the first deckhand who ended up as the captain.
Yes.
Which was weird in a
Allegedly.
way because she had boots on that she had designed. They made the point of saying that.
Those boots
And
weren't made for walking. Though.
and then the EMT lady's like, you may want to boil those boots when you get off the boat because you went to the bathroom in the Staten Island ferry.
You've been standing in urine.
Yeah. So it was kind of I don't know, were we supposed to take from from those two separate conversations that were independent that he knew that her boots were ruined and she needed new ones?
He gave her those to help from getting electrocuted because the rubber sole, right?
Well, they'd already been
No, that was
electrocuted at that
after.
point. So that unless
No,
he was
that
going to
was
do it
the-
again,
Well, then that makes even less sense than what I thought he gave her
Yeah.
the boots for.
it didn't make a lot of sense.
Most of this didn't, which is fine.
No, the other guy that took the kid. That was his reason for not
That's
getting.
right.
He's like, no,
I had these-
I had my work boots on,
And he was on
and
a
he was on a
rubber
rubber
pad.
kitchen mat.
Yeah.
That's why 2 out of 17 people didn't get electrocuted.
And what a way to get rid of extras.
Well, they had to do it, or otherwise the boat would be full of. I mean, they went through that very empowering rally moment for New Yorkers to defend their ferry, and
He got
I thought it was
stabbed to the
very
back of the
moving,
head.
very Independence Day, uh, and then boom, took them all out.
Capped off with just an execution style to the that one cop that was rallying them.
Yeah. As he reaches the climax, he takes a broomstick through the back of the head,
And
Great.
then
And-
all of those followers are electrocuted. It's
Yeah.
like Feast.
and
We
then he
just
does a
talked about
damp
Feast.
a little dance right before he does it.
Which that
Just
was
like
all.
Mickey Mouse with an umbrella back in the day.
And at the very end,
Or Kane.
he got the scissors in the back and he goes, oh, and just falls off the boat. Like they went as far as they could, I guess. I don't
Still
know.
wasn't dead at the closing scene. I
I mean-
expected him to wink at the very end, like
I-
as it
one of
in
those-
the old school closeout.
Yeah.
Just
I thought so too.
I feel like all of his scenes were shot, and everyone else had to act around it. That's
That's 100%
how
what
it happened.
oh yeah.
Because he was definitely just okay. Here, you do cartoon sounds, and they didn't necessarily fit, but I guess with the
And,
story they fit. But
Any of that could have been ADR at any point.
Yeah.
All the whistling, all that shit. They just had David Howard Thornton. They're like, okay, now this is what happens. He probably
All right.
shot it all in like 2 days.
yeah,
So
they
you're
never
Art
had
the
to show
Clown.
whistling.
But you're dressed as a rat, and we're on a boat.
Go.
Don't worry about the kills. We'll make it work.
Here's a giant screwdriver.
Yeah.
Play.
Yeah, James. You don't make Tom Cruise act around all the extras. You make the extras act around Tom Cruise. It's essentially how David Howard Thornton was in this film.
He was the talent.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I like that this is now David Howard Thornton's Top Gun. Well, it is a ship, I guess. It's fair.
I was thinking Mission Impossible because that came out this weekend.
We did get the
Mission
girl at
Impossible
the end.
17.
It did,
Yeah.
didn't it? 47.
Yes,
D-
they're racing Fast and Furious for most sequels.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Well, this is his last one, isn't it? The Mission Impossible? Supposedly?
Allegedly.
Let's
Yeah,
hope so.
allegedly. Well, Tom Cruise it'll probably do like the John Wick where he comes back in the next one to,
There's 6 prequels after this
Yeah.
scheduled.
In the world of Mission Impossible.
in a world where Tom Cruise never ages except for his nipples.
It's just going to be him voicing a character as a baby walks around. Young Ethan Hunt.
Ethan hunts for mama's milk. I'd watch that. Fuck yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
Munchkin
It's
Impossible.
like risky
no.
business on Benjamin
I'll take
Button.
Copyright.
We got some great ideas. I'm gonna cut all that. We're gonna write those tonight. All right. Cancel work. What else? Anything else on this? I mean, it's an hour and a half of
There was a lot and not a lot all at the same time.
yes. That's exactly what this was.
Kind of like rubber.
As James has now been famous for saying, whatever that was, it was the best version of it that I've ever seen.
Not wrong. A little disappointed we don't have Cameron's input here because he bailed after giving away the best part of the film, and then
Let's spend the next 10 minutes of this podcast just shitting on Cameron.
He shows up for 5 minutes.
Runs the dick cutting scene. Bitches about having more kids on the way. God.
complains about ladyboys in Thailand.
Just miracles abound.
I'm out of here. I got to catch a plane.
His feet stank. He farted twice. One of them was probably a shit. He left really quick after that second one.
Well, we did find some shit up here after he left.
I was gonna say I'm starting to wonder if that was Cameron and not the dog.
Son of a bitch. It all makes sense now.
He's framing
Yep.
Bowie.
You know, that last one I found up here after Cameron left on Taylor's baby shower thing.
Oh,
Makes a lot of sense.
man, sneaky
Damn
Cameron.
it, Cameron.
Crappy Cam. He's just gonna be sitting there listening to this later, like, what the fuck did I do? You know what? A lot.
You know what you
You
did.
did a lot. And that segues straight into a commercial.
It's Arkansas Music Works, located on J Street in Bentonville, your local shop for all these music instruments and more. It's chock full of musical instruments for the discerning musician and has a selection of audio, orchestra, and band instruments for those dipping their toe into the musical world. Need your instrument updated or repaired? They do that too. For all these great services and more, check out your local music shop, Arkansas Music Works, and mention the Talking with Words podcast for 10% off your purchase.
And we're back.
Oh man.
Look at those instruments. What else about? I mean, I don't think I'm gonna watch this again, but I might watch it to make someone else watch it. It's one of
Oh, yeah.
those because I would like to watch other people watch it. I enjoyed watching James watch it.
I don't think I've ever been disappointed watching James watch something.
That's
here.
true. You could start an OnlyFans of just watch me watch a movie with these guys.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Talking with Words production. James watches movies. Just every 20 minutes, unbutton a top button.
That's a lot of buttons.
That's it. We'll watch short films.
Most of my pillows only have 2 buttons, so it's a short movie.
All right. So it'll be 20 minutes. That's about as long as I can last anyway. Oh, thanks for listening. Screamboat. Yeah.
Never
Check it out.
travel without your theater department trunk.
I think we all learned an important lesson there. Or your wooden like shoes. Did she make those? Where did
Yeah.
those
Her
things come from?
shoes? Yeah.
At the end, those big ass Minnie Mouse shoes.
They had to be in the trunk.
They were in the trunk.
There's the only explanation.
That's why they didn't fit her.
That was the guy's trunk.
Yeah.
Those
the
two-
two gentlemen in Lederhosen.
That's right.
Maybe they're from the Netherlands.
Duh.
And not the
Those were
nether
wooden
regions.
shoes. They were
Oh,
wooden
well.
shoes.
They were wooden shoes, or at least they looked like wooden shoes.
They were actually from the Staten Island College of Theater.
There was a moment I thought she was going to fuck that mouse. When she was like, you know what? I'm going to take care of this.
You're disassociating. You're traumatized.
Okay.
Nosferatu had already
that might
gone
have been
there.
my other favorite part.
And 2
Yeah.
derivative if they did it again.
Yeah. The EMT telling her, hey, yeah, you're losing it. You're going a little nuts. I'm going to dress like this mouse's dead wife. Hey, this is not necessary.
If violence doesn't work,
The voice
Right,
freezing.
love.
Yeah, her saying I'm gonna kill Willie. Yeah, that's not necessary. We can just go to the top. That was a good line. We're already up here.
Let's just get off the boat.
You didn't care about those people. We can go. All right, I might watch it again. Fuck.
Just
Don't
to
lie to-
catalog the references if somebody else on the internet doesn't do it first.
What? Yeah, we got a bunch. Also, I'm gonna make Cameron watch it next time.
all the way through.
Taint to tip.
Should make Cameron and Taylor watch it together.
Oh I would.
Keep an eye on
Yes.
them.
I'll come hang out for that one.
Yeah, they'll start biting each other if you don't.
No, I was saying keep an eye on Cameron if you watch him watch this movie because we don't make sure he doesn't poop somewhere.
That's a good point. And he's got weird small poops.
Almost mouse-like droppings.
The better,
Very rodent-like.
the better to frame the poor dog.
I bet he's been practicing
Sneaky
small
Cameron.
poops at home.
But we didn't do anything.
He
to
eats
you,
a very
Cameron.
small meal once a day.
This will get those fuckers
Just
making me watch these shitty horror movies. I'll shit on them. Got a little funnel attachment. Pushes right through. We're taking way too much time into this. James, explain it more.
I swear that's the last I got. Just like Cameron said.
Yeah, there we are.
It's my cue.
Hey, thanks for listening. Yeah, watch it or don't. Screamboat. It was weird. I'll probably watch it again. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Charlie, and this shit from Cameron. And Taylor's probably down there too, I guess. Man, my house is so full of shit.
Are we recording?